Alright, I'm back again. And I don't know. Let's see, I was talking about the drinking and driving last, and I don't condone it at all. I would suggest not to do this and plead not to do that. And see, this different world that I viewed, that I felt, see, it's hard to explain it all, but one thing is a whole bunch of jobs would become obsolete because they're totally worthless. You know, like the CEOs and investment bankers, they don't do nothing, they don't provide nothing. They live off of other people's money. It's really our life that they're living off of, but everybody understands this money thing. Economics. Economics to me is a bad word, and we should dump that word right now. You know? Just get rid of it and move on. I'm telling you, people, if, like I said, if you watch this video, and he's actually, I think he's a great presenter, great speaker. But the last part of this video, he starts to talk about what you can call it, I envisioned. To me, it's more than that. It's almost like, I don't know. He's saying this is the stuff we did in the past. This is the history, how it used to work, and all that, blah, blah, blah. You know, but as to the jobs thing, we'd lose a whole bunch of jobs, and that'd be great for people because what I think of it is in as a workload, as in time based, so that if we get rid of a whole bunch of jobs, people aren't doing what they do now, which is programmed into their brain. We need more jobs. Well, I can create more worthless jobs. I mean, I could do that. Instead of a CEO, let's have a BSEO. I mean, that's not what we need. We really need to work less so that, the stress doesn't get to us. We have more times with our family, and we have more times for ourselves and to live life. And the thing I wanted to say about like the drinking and driving thing is like in my world, what I would try to do first is create a new job, and it's called basically a taxi service. But instead of having one driver, you have two people. So you can come up and pick up a car. You know, if you're drinking at a bar and you're like, oh man, I can't drive. Well, you just call the taxi service and they have a driver so they can come pick you and your car up. And to me, I think that would work. I don't know. Maybe people would still do it. I have this other insane suggestion that I really don't like, but we could also go the way of making one city, one town, be it legal to drink and drive, and then whoever lives there knows the consequences, knows the risk, and it's all up to them if they want to live there. I mean, that's not a good idea. But hey, it's just a suggestion. I love that. I don't know. But if you made this new taxi service and, you know, people didn't use it, then it would be their fault that they're out drinking and driving. You understand what I'm saying? If they're choosing that, then, we gave them an opportunity to not to, just by a simple phone call. And I think, we could do that. We have the ingenuity and the people and the resources to accommodate that. and try to reduce something that, I don't know, it's not easy, you know. It, it's just not. People, that's what people do. A lot of people go to bars, have drinks, and drive home. And it's really not a good thing because, like I said, if you take a life, man, you don't want to learn that lesson. You, especially if you're a good person. Really? What do you got to say? Oh, you don't want to get hit either. No. No. Let's move on here. What else do I want to talk about? We could talk about the law and how I view the law. A little short story. Okay, the law is almost really how we fall. Because they write so many laws that I think everybody in the world could be committing a crime right now. And the way I see it, okay, you take a big library, fill it full of books, and these are law. This has all to do with law. So you're looking at this library, and you know it's a huge library, like 3-4 floors, and you know it's gonna take you 2-3 lifetimes to read all this law. I mean, that's how much law there is. Now, you read all this law. Say you're a speed reader and you're able to do it in your lifetime, which is impossible for most people. But now, I'm not done yet. Now you go next door and there's another library with the same amount. And, you know, you don't have to read it all, maybe the first few books, until you understand that, wait a minute, all these laws contradict the laws I just read. But wait, there's still more, because if you know anything about the law, and I was right, I can't believe I was right, because I said this when I was a kid, and I had a lawyer later in my life tell me, and I was shocked that he told me the truth. He said it's not what law there are, it's the interpretation of law, and whether we can interpret it in our favor. And I was like, what? A lawyer? A liar telling me the truth? Oh well. But, as you know, with words, with laws, it can be interpreted in different ways. And, you know, like what was it, a year or two ago, I was reading this magazine and I found out there was I forget what it was, but it was an organization that interpret constitutional law. So, I mean, that's really weird because you can make a law and, well, the people who interpret the law, it can change if he's interpreting it differently than what he thought it was supposed to mean. I don't know if you get that. Like I said, I'm not too articulate at times. Sometimes I am. And like I said, this camera thing's weird. I think it's because, I have the opportunity, I guess, to speak to millions. And it's like, I think of it like this. Ever see people that, like, if they're in front of the camera, they freeze? That's kind of like what I'm going through. Hey, look at the nice trails. The non-weatherman that doesn't exist. Oh, there's my arrow. Oh. And what do I view about the stock market? I just think it's a tool to be used by the corrupt to steal our wealth. Basically, I mean, you take a piece of paper, this money, which is a piece of paper. You go get more pieces of paper in the stock market. Then you spend some time in Fantasyland, and wow, all of a sudden your stocks grew. But what you don't know is the manipulation in that when stocks grow like that, well, other stocks fall, other people lose for others to gain. And that's how it basically works. I mean, it's really pretty big. There's a lot into it, so many scams that it's just, it, it doesn't need to exist at this point. I wonder what time I'm at. Okay, I almost got 5 minutes. Okay. I'm not talking to you. Oh, I think I better go. Well, you want to get fed, don't you? All the time. The stock market, the bailout. Remember that one? Remember the bailout? You remember when, I forget who it was, I'm bad with names, and I don't really believe in this government way of life. It's just too corrupt. It's the consolidation of power and greed and manipulation, but whatever. But you had somebody come out and speak the truth about this bailout that they put out. They were like, we were threatened if we don't give this bailout, we were threatened that the economy will collapse and the stock market will collapse and there will be martial law. And it's, oh boy, I'm amazed that, people didn't act so many times before with stuff like this. It's, we're just going to sit here, let them say that and let them do this, and then the worst part of it, okay, you're going to give money, I call it the trickle up theory. When I was taught in school, they told me the trickle down theory. They're going to give money to the richest of people and they're going to create more jobs. What's going on? Oh, they create more jobs, all right. It's not in this country. Oh, man. And then, okay, if you build, let's say, a car company, well, that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, if the economy's bad, that means the people can't afford to buy anything. So if you're going to build out a car company and they're going to be able to produce more cars, well, who's going to buy the cars? If the rest of the people don't have any money, it would have been made more sense to give the bailout to the people so that they could go out and buy things. I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm a little messed up in the head there. I don't know if that's rational to you. I just don't know anymore. I should just do what I'm told. I tell you what, I am prepared. How am I prepared? I got this big, black, hefty trash bag right by the door. And I call it pre-black bagged. So when they come, I can just jump in my black bag and say, drag me away. Yay! Oh, I'm bad. I am bad sometimes. I'll get to you. I always feed you. Let's see. Oh, man. That's weird. I kind of wish I could... What is my... No, minimize. I want to see the time. Oh, well. I guess I'm going to have to get the timer. See, that's another weird thing about me. Is all my life I never viewed time the same as average people. I mean, the only thing that I could wake up and make it to work on time, but after that, I didn't care what time was. I just did my work and